In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmond Obilo, on state affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo.
What love does is the binding of humanity. You see, that quiet strength, that strength that transforms individuals into families and families into society. When we talk about love, it is more than emotion. Love is a choice, an action, and a commitment to the well-being of others. The well-being of your friend, your mother, your father, your wife, your husband, your children, the nation, the well-being of the state. In the family, love is the first language we learn. From baby, the mother nurtures trust. As the children grow, you heal wounds. Love teaches the sacred responsibility of caring for one another. Leaders will care for the followers because they love them. Love is about caring. A caring leader will build good schools. A caring leader will transform the wealth of the land into tangible benefits. Good university education, good health care. There will be food. Where there is love, there is no hunger. There is peace. A home built on love becomes a sanctuary, a place where kindness is practiced, forgiveness is granted, and growth is encouraged. When love flourishes within families, children will learn empathy. They will learn respect and resilience. And they will carry these virtues into the world. Beautiful Nubia sings. He tells stories with his song. In telling stories, Beautiful Nubia examines society. Born Segun Akinlolu, Beautiful Nubia is a poet, a philosopher, and one of Nigeria's most authentic voices in folk and roots music. Known for his lyrically rich, socially conscious songs that seek to uplift and inspire, Beautiful Nubia refuses to dance to the tune of market. In this conversation, Beautiful Nubia examines love and leadership. If you opened this book, you would encounter the power of words. These are his songs. Back to Come is one of the songs here. Well, he says, the earth is spinning on its axis, and the sun is beaming bright at noon. The rain has fallen in due season, and I'm happy for those whose stocks are rising. You see, the road I work is not easy. I halt in places no one can see. Where do you halt?
Oh yeah, places no one can see.
Can I see it?
No one can see them one day.
Why?
And this applies to all of us. We all carry our silent scars and our hearts, People cannot see them. And if we choose to sing about them, if we choose to expose them, or we don't bring what hurts us. We do not bring our inefficiencies into this to inflict pain on society. We seek to resolve them within. We find a way to resolve them. And we can use music, we can use words, we can use other things to resolve. I find a lot of our people, a lot of the leaders we have, and that's why I understand them, that they use the pain they have, the lack that they have in their personalities, the hurts that they carry inside, they use that to inflict pain on others. And so when people understand that, they will stop hating those they are looking at as all these people they have destroyed us. If you understand that a lot of things go back to people's childhoods, and if you have a bad leader, go and check about his childhood. If you see a man who cannot love, who cannot care for his own people, who cannot do things that will benefit his people, you go and check how he grew up. You will find that this is somebody who needs help. Not for you to be angry with them, it's for you to understand it and then say, in our time, we will try to do differently, we'll try to do better.
Are you saying many members of our political class need help?
They need help.
How do we help them?
By first letting them realize that this is where the problem is. Because many of them don't seem to understand, they don't realize it. Many adults who are hurting and who have brought their childhood abuse, the childhood traumas, and they've brought them now to reflect on their adult life. And you see it everywhere. You see it in schools, you see it in business, you see it in music, you see it in sports, you see it in all kinds of industries. Any industry you can think about, you see that. In politics, you will see it. In governance in Nigeria, you will see it. People whose early childhood was actually spoilt by certain experiences that many of them have buried. And that's why when they've grown up now, you see them, they're not capable of loving people, of caring for people, of doing things that will benefit their society. Because you ask yourself, if somebody is in this position of power, why should he be happy to see people suffering like this? But you see, something is wrong somewhere. Something was wrong in the upbringing. Those who have been brought up well, those who have been fed love from early childhood, they will do better things for their societies. So we need to understand these people. We need to understand and then tell ourselves, not to judge them, not to castigate them, but tell ourselves that we should learn to do better, that we should raise our children properly now, because these are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. If you feed them love, if you teach them all the right principles of truth and hard work and honesty and humility and courage and perseverance and contentment, if you teach our children that, we create a generation that is thinking like that, this country will be. That's why I believe this country is going to change. Things are going to change. All over Africa, we're going to see change. It seems like a dream now, but yeah, we talked about dreams already. Dreams do come true.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
Throughout history, certain nations and leaders have embraced principles of love. Their people has now understood compassion, unity, and selfless service. What these leaders were able to do was to heal the division of society. They inspired progress and strengthened society. If you look at India, the home of Mahatma Gandhi, Gandhi came with the philosophy of ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence. Gandhi also had the philosophy of satyagraha. Satyagraha is truth. These are deep philosophies. Ahimsa, satyagraha, non-violence, truth. Gandhi's love, that love-based resistance, freed India from British colonial rule without armed rebellion. Gandhi taught that justice must be pursued with compassion, saying an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Gandhi's principles inspired global movements for civil rights and freedom. If you look at Denmark, in Denmark, there is the philosophy of collective social trust, conceptualized in the philosophy of Hage. Hage is a spirit. What that philosophy defines is egalitarian welfare system for the people of Denmark. It is the philosophy of mutual care and community, Hage, togetherness. Denmark is an advanced society from the principles of love. Denmark consistently ranks among the happiest nations due to policies rooted in collective well-being, free health care, education, and strong social safety nets. Their culture prioritizes trust, empathy, and work-life balance, showing how societal love creates stability. The Gandhi example, the Denmark example, show that love as a policy, whether through forgiveness, equity, or radical kindness, can rebuild nations. Love is the most practical force for lasting change. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. These are the words of Martin Luther King Jr. He applied love to advance civil rights in the United States of America. Like roots of the trees, love binds the heart. It sets us free. Love turns the word to sacred space. Beautiful Nubia sings. He examines love, connecting it to the state of society.
Looking at your thesis, I want to ask, how come it's those with disturbed childhood that now gain power in your country?
Because they need to have power. They need to have it. They need to be able to lord it over others. They need to be able to inflict the pain on. They need something to fill them up. There's a void they're trying to fill.
So how come those with beautiful childhood cannot compete with them?
Because they are usually very peaceful and very giving and very generous and very community oriented. They're always thinking, everything peaceful. That's always, and then you find that the elements in society who have been poorly raised are the ones who go towards power. They are the ones who go towards money as a tool. My grandmother told me as a child, money must work for you. You do not work for money. I was only 7 when she was telling me this. She was already in her 70s or early, and she said, you must be the boss of money. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, well, you make money to send it on errands. You use money to improve your environment, to improve your people, to help your people, to help people around you. That's what money is for. You send it on errands, it will come back to you. You send it forth, it comes back to you more. You do not sit on money and worship it like your God. You do not keep gathering it. You look at many of our people, they just gather all this wealth. They just buy all these cars. They just have all these houses. They're so scared of losing what they've got. Somebody has one car, he's afraid he's going to lose it, he buys a second one. Then he has 10, and he's still buying it because he's afraid. He's so afraid. That fear comes from early childhood lack, early childhood deprivation. When you've been deprived of love, of material things, of many of these things when you are a child, you say, one day when I grow up, I will buy the best car in the country and I will oppress everybody.
But some of them are from wealthy homes.
But they didn't have love. Or they didn't, because being from a wealthy, having money, it's not the same. We know how it is. You can have all the money. If you don't raise your children, they end up as deformed adults. It's the same thing.
Your grandmother's words are so reflective. That is so deep.
And my grandmother wasn't a rich woman, but she had been a businesswoman who had made money before. So I think she understood. But when she would tell you that, now imagine if every child was told that we don't just make money to worship it. We don't just make it to keep it in an account and say, I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire. No, we use money to do things.
Your grandmother's idea can be a guiding light for society.
I'll tell you something else she told me. You are only as rich as the poorest person in your community. That no matter what you achieve in life, if your community is not doing well, you have not done well. And that's how I feel about Nigeria. Because I was born in this country. And I've been around the world, I've lived in other places. But I keep thinking, I was born here for a reason. And if my country is not doing well, if my people are not doing well, how can I say I have succeeded? How can I feel at peace? And that comes from what I was taught as a child, that you cannot separate yourself from your community. If your community is not healthy, then you are not healthy.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ mọ àwọn òbí rẹ o bèbí mi yé jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ mọ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ o ọmọ oníwà tútù yìí o mo fẹ́ mọ lé rẹ o kí n máa bá ẹ lọ bèbí jẹ́ máa bá ẹ lọ ọ̀ní kí n máa bá ẹ lọ olólùfẹ́ jẹ́ máa bá ẹ lọ. Oh, what a feeling, wanting me all love, I can't help myself, baby, I wanna love you, I wanna be with you, both night and day, share my life with you, baby, I wanna love you. Oh, what a feeling, locking up my lips, I can't express myself, baby, I wanna love you, I wanna live with you, grow old in your hands, I'm babies with you, na 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 na. Kò rí irú ìfẹ́ èyí rí o, kò rí irú ẹ̀rín èyí rí o, ọmọ tó níwà tó sì lẹ́wà o, mo fẹ́ mọ lé rẹ o, kí n máa bá ẹ lọ. Jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ mọ àwọn òbí rẹ o, bèbí mi yé, jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ mọ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ o, ọmọ oníwà tútù yìí o, mo fẹ́ mọ lé rẹ o, kí n máa bá ẹ lọ, bèbí jẹ́ máa bá ẹ lọ, ọ̀ní kí n máa bá ẹ lọ, olólùfẹ́ jẹ́ máa bá ẹ lọ. Oh, what a feeling.
Beautiful Nubia there. What a feeling. There's a book I have here. It's entitled Islam, A Comprehensive Guide to the History, Philosophy, and Practice of Islam Around the World, with more than 500 beautiful illustrations. This book explores the life of Muhammad, the story of the Crusades, and Islam in the modern world. This book analyzes the traditions, teachings, and texts central to the Islamic religion. This guide discusses the significance of holy sites, charitable giving, prayer, fasting, and pilgrimage. Islam, the complete illustrated guide to Islam. That's the book I'm holding here. You can see it's a big book. Now, I want to read from the book. It's a glossy book. It feels so good to touch. And when you touch it, you want to keep it. The first time I touched it, I kept it. The authors write, Islam is the world's religion. The meaning and message of Islam is one of peaceful submission to the will of one God, the God referred to in Arabic as Allah. Arabic is the language in which the Quran, according to Islam, a divine revelation, was disclosed to Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, in Mecca. The authors say that Muslims believe that what followed over the next 23 years was a series of revelations to guide and instruct people to lead deeply spiritual, moral, and upright lives with God at the center as sacred creator, and men and women seeking to live in peace through worship. Take note of the word. men, the words, men and women seeking to live in peace through worship. To live in peace is to love. To love is to worship in righteousness. Muslims consider the Quran to be the direct word of God, and so do not challenge its authenticity, but they see it as a critical science of interpretation developed around the text over the centuries. I'm talking about love. Islam teaches that people cannot lead godly lives through personal search and obedience to rules alone, but that they must depend on guidance from their Creator. The guidance Muslims believe came through prophets who were selected by God and sent to every nation. Adam is considered the first of these prophets, and Muhammad the last. Muhammad is central to Islam, which holds that there can be no belief in God without belief in Muhammad as his messenger. Known by Muslims as the Prophet, Muhammad is viewed not as the founder of a new religion, but rather as the restorer of monotheistic belief as practiced by Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and others. It's about peace. I just read from the book, The Complete Illustrated Guide to Islam. It is a comprehensive guide to the history, philosophy, and practice of Islam around the world, with more than 500 beautiful illustrations. It is not an ordinary book. It is a philosophical book. It is a spiritual book. You can find the book on udarabooks.com. It is a book of love and peace. Are you there? What does love do? In the family, love is the first language. That is if we still have the family. Love is the light in the dark, a steady hand that holds us tight. It builds the home, it mends the tear. In society, love is the antidote to division. It calls us to see beyond differences, to listen with compassion, and to act with justice. A society rooted in love does not merely tolerate, but uplift. It does not exploit, but it serves. Love inspires sacrifice, fears generosity, and reminds us that true progress is measured not by wealth or power, but how we treat the most vulnerable among us. It is the story of love and the story of time. It is the Radio Man's time. It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Stay tuned.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Kado Mountain,
rock, as the case may be. This is the foot. So from here, we'll be heading to the top. What's our mission? We want to have a dialogue with Iyake Lake. That's why we're here. So this is the foot of the rock. We are relaxed. So we are saving energy because the work up the rocks will take more than an hour. So you need to be strong. You know, exercise yourself, getting ready, and up we go soon. So welcome to Okeado Hills, Okeado Mountain, Okeado Rocks. We are going to have a dialogue with Iyake Lake. Come with us. Up we go. The journey begins now. Yes, our tour guide is ahead of me. You can see him from Oyo State Ministry of Culture and Tourism. He's taking us up. This is the first gate, the gate into the rocks. You know, we have different rocks here, and Iyake Lake is at the top of one of the rocks. Let's go.
The place has over 200 steps. It has over 200 steps.
300 steps?
Yes. And in fact, we have about 16 sites there. 16 sites, is it all the site? Iyake is the most prominent one. Iyake Suspended Lake is the most prominent one among them. On our way now, we first of all reach Isagi Hill. After Isagi Hill, we see Odoyalaro, we see Esiamu Agba. We see Iyake Suspended Rock. If we move up, we see Esekaniku. That's a very sharp edge of the rock. We see Odebanji Gira. We see Majakakan. We see Agbomafo Iyake. That one is very close to Iyake Lake. It is believed that if somebody puts his leg inside, the person will meet himself inside the Iyake. So that is forbidden. People are forbidden from putting their leg there. So we have 60-30 sites. And in fact, those 60-30 sites during the olden days, those historic sites were shrines worshipped by the indigenes that time. Before it's now been turned into 30 sites. Wow. And up till now, people who have belief, they still request for whatever they want from each of those shrines.
So we have 300 steps to go.
Yes.
Oh. Guys, we just started.
is Agi Rock, one of the 16 tourist sites on top of Ado Mountain. This rock is known for fertility and productivity. Mostly, it gives children for those who believe in it. Those who want children, they come from all nooks and crannies to come and worship it, to come and make their request, most especially for children. And children that are born under the influence of this rock, they bring the children when the Yake festival is being celebrated in November to appreciate him. And this thing is worshipped. Part of what they used to worship it, Eko, no Eko, the corn meal, the solid corn meal, Egusi, that is the local melon, cock, akuko, all those things. Then white clothes are tied around it. Now, when you want new clothes, when it's no longer in need of the old clothes, maybe you feel that the old clothes is dirty or you are torn, you will remove it by itself. And maybe that is what he has just done. He's now requesting for new clothes. So I believe new clothes will soon be brought to it, to wrap it.
So you wrap the new clothes
around it.
And white. It must be white.
It must be white. It must be white.
So why this line?
This is like a sphere of influence. Maybe that somebody should not move beyond this line.
This line.
And that somebody should not step beyond this line.
And if somebody steps beyond the line and hug the rock and hold the rock,
I think somebody can step, maybe, but the person should not wear shoe or slippers.
All right.
So no, it's just to maintain purity
yes.
of it. Just to maintain purity of
what did you call the rock again?
This is Isagi Rock.
Isagi Rock.
It's one of the 60 shrines or 60 tourist sites on top of this Ado Mountain.
So this is the first shrine?
Yes.
Still reading from the book, The Complete Illustrated Guide to Islam. On page 198 of the book, the authors write, Islam teaches that humankind's divinely appointed task is to establish prayer and charity in the service of God and to forsake all evil in thought and deeds, to be morally upright and ethically principled in accordance with God's degrees, in accordance with God's decrees. That is Islam. Look, Islam teaches that humankind's divinely appointed task is to establish prayer and charity in the service of God, and to forsake all evil in thought and deeds, to be morally upright and ethically principled in accordance with God's decrees. Are you there? Are you there? Uh-huh. All right. Call the radio station 070694 930 00 070694 930 00. Good morning. Hello. You can also call 070 144 757 70. That is 070 144 757 70. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Are we the one calling? So what's going on? All right. Okay. We'll sort that out. Just keep trying. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. He said, the old man, Alaji Chief, Sulaiman, Amabola and Walana Sheikh, and Lamolija Jovan. That book we have brought, I believe the truths are now coming out. And I'm very, very happy about it because many people are taught of a religious sect that comes down from abroad to Nigeria to enlighten people and bring people to sanity about the religion of Islam. You see, either to, many people believe Islam was a religion of violence, but it never. That was why the founder of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, as by Mr. Abdul Hamad of blessed memory, came to review the religions, the different religions. And in the magazine, the longest running, that perhaps if you don't have it, I will make it available to you. Since 1902, they call it the Review of Religion. It started in that magazine that all the religions of the world came from the true source. But when it came to the different communities, they turned it over and they all became over a different thing entirely. After you read out from that book, and anybody who is a right-thinking person will now believe that there shouldn't be any antagonism between Islam and Christianity. Many people believe in that Abraham is the father of all religions, Islam and Christianity. Muhammad is a direct descendant of Abraham, while Jesus Christ too was traced to be a descendant of Abraham. Abraham, we call it Ibrahim in Islam. Moses, we call it Musa and Musa in Islam. And Jesus, we call it Prophet Isa in Islam. Where is Islam? Where is the point of antagonism? That book, I should have a copy, please. I'm ordering through this moment because that is such a book that will restore peace to the world. Anytime we are holding our convention, we used to invite different religions, including Khan generally, and we used to treat them with love. And when they are good, we say, if as Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is, without all religious are, there should be no war in the war. There should be no war anywhere. Look at what is happening today. Let me stop there. Everybody knows. We pray that there's no third world war in the world. Thank you. God bless you, Edmund.
Thank you, Chief Bolaniwa, for calling the radio station. Chapter 6 of the book is entitled Morality, Ethics, and Law. You now have subheadings: Accounting for the Soul, Human Agency, Combating the Ego.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Edmond. My name is Absalam El Mubashir. I'm calling from UI.
Good to hear your voice.
Thanks for the enlightenment always. Now, as for the discussion with Beatitude Nubia, oh, my man, any day, you just listen to his music and you find something philosophical. But unfortunately, even the society themselves are not really ready for the right route. Because I don't know, songs like that of Beatitude Nubia, sometimes, except for some of us, that really, understand deep thoughts, are set aside, and people are buying junk. You find a lot of junk even on the airwaves today. Yes, I'm not beating those guys. Yes, they should hang from their toilet, but for God's sake, the content should be taken seriously. Because as for me, most of the contents of the music that rules are do the airwaves today, they sing like Gwendolyn Brooks, one there's an American poet that wrote how do you call it? We real cool. He said we sing. They sing nowadays, and but of course people are listening. They are embracing it. And so, what's the problem of those guys? They want to make money, and the society is embracing their music, even though they sing. And people like Beautiful Nubia, you only find the crowd you find with some of these other guys that sing. So I think it's a word that is now working it down. I don't know. As for the other book of Islam, the same thing. Some of us that research, that read, and that research, about it, because I research about all religion. I know I have to live with Christian, till the end of the world. No religion will, cancel each other unless you are deceiving yourself. And if you know that, and you know that you can have a neighbor who is not of the same faith with you, then learn to live in peace with them. Try.
Hello? Oh, I was enjoying his thoughts. Yeah, he's a poet. Let's see another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Edmond.
Your name and where are you calling from?
Calling from Nubia.
Hello?
Well, thank you for the lecture on love. We are paying lip service to this country. Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Most of us who have been like Nigerian major language, we know what love means. But some of us, no matter how highly educated we are in this country, we still believe that some people are superior than others. That is the problem we have. That is why we had that genocide in Rwanda, because they don't have love. I listened to a program last week about Liberia. It's tribalism. A nation that is tribal and sometimes a religion can never move forward. That is love matter. Some of us are too learned, yet they are tribalistic. But that is the problem we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, yeah. Good morning, Radio Man. Yeah. This is Lawrence from UNETU. I love that interview with you, Nubia. It takes the deep to recognize the deep. So we are talking about love. Many people think love is abstract. Every religion, both religions, knows that it is all about sacrifice, both Christianity and Islam. And when we talk about love, I look at Nigeria. This has been my question. On what is Nigeria based upon? On what value? Is it on a vague, mystic, and astrological ideological beliefs that we have meant to be. During 1938, the Secretary of the Colonies, Lord Harcourt, said that the Lady of Mins, Southern Lady of Mins, and the promising youth is about to marry. Is that marriage based on true love? So I think that is what we need to check. When you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing virtue better than that of passing it. We need to sit down and see how we can build a true Nigeria. Because to me, look at the Yorubas, we understand the ethos of the Omoluabi. I believe the Hausas have their own, their uses. So how can we all work together to build the true value system of Nigeria? Not that you see the foreigners, they see us as corrupt people. On what value system is Nigeria based on? So we have to preach true love. It's not as if we should forget about our differences, but we have to be realistic about them. Let us retain the faith that we achieve and defend, but at the same time, we take the brutal fact of our reality, which is that though we might come from different backgrounds, but we can still form a better country. So that's the true meaning of love. Thank you.
Thank you. You see, I'm recommending this book, Islam, the complete illustrated guide of Islam. One of the best books I have spent money on is this book. It gave me a clear understanding of Islam, and I treasure the book. It's not the usual book. It's a big book. It's a bit expensive because the pictures are so clear. You know, those kind of glossy pages, thick pages. Because it's a book you can keep for centuries. That's how the book is designed. The first time I saw it, I bought 3 copies. I gave one to my dad, who likes reading his Bible like he eats his breakfast and lunch, to have another side of the story. Yeah. And he treasures it. It's a book you will love. It's not a book for Muslims or Christians. It's a book for humanity. The pictures, you know, Islam is also science. I hope you know. It is deep. Islam is deep. It is humanity. With the principles of Islam, you can advance a society. Let's take that call. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I lost the connection somehow the other time. And as I was saying, you know, we learn to live in peace with each other because I try to, you know, study other people's religion so that I will know what their faith requires of them. And I know my boundary, and we have to respect that, respect boundaries. This is very important for peaceful coexistence. So if, as a Muslim, you are not living in peace with your neighbor, I can tell you are not a Muslim. That book, I will still come, you know, to Udara one day, Edmond. But, you know, I'm a salary earner, so I don't have much money now, and I want lots and lots of books. A lot of those books that you pack there in Udara are books that, you know, books that enrich. So I'll still come there. I will come for that book and, you know, look at what is inside. But for now, I can tell you for free, Edmond, that we are not really, because of misunderstanding of the religion, that it cut across all the faiths, especially Islam and Christianity. You know, the religion is saying one thing, we are doing another thing in the name of the same religion that we refuse to understand. Islam and Muslim should be congruent. But unfortunately, you find Islam and Muslims that are supposed to practice Islam, you know, you find that is an incongruous relationship. Islam is saying one thing, Muslims are doing another thing. And of course, people are judging the religion from the practitioner. And I can tell you that a lot of the practitioners are far way away from the religion. So, you know, to give other people time, that's what I can say for now. Unless we try to understand our faith, our religion, I tell you, we will be living in chaos.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's why religion seems to be one of the bane of our coexistence. Thank you, Edmund.
Did you write a poem yesterday? Hello. Oh, okay. I wanted to chat with him. You see, if you look at this book, There's this chapter. I like science, so anything scientific thrills me. Architecture of mosque. Because when I see mosque, I take a closer look at them. I like going into mosque. And one thing that attracts me into a mosque is the architecture. I admire architectural masterpieces. Even when sometimes when I'm driving and I see a good house, I park and I take a look. I like good structures. You know, when you build monuments, like cultural center that we've allowed to fail. You know, monuments that will last for centuries. You see monuments that have been built in Europe, in Rome, more than 500 years ago. They are still standing. So if you look at this book, you will see the picture of Islamic mosque, architectural masterpiece. You know, when I see those pictures, I just want to be an architect. You'll find them in this book. Mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. Islam is about mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. Did you know that at some point, Baghdad was the intellectual capital of the world, the same Baghdad of today, in Iraq? Islam is knowledge. Islam is love. Islam is peace. Hey, have you read the works of Chinua Achebe? You know, across his works, No Longer at Ease, Arrow of God, A Man of the People, then the popular one, Things Fall Apart. Did I say the popular one? They are all popular. Have you read Achebe's famous essay entitled An Image of Africa, Racism in Conrad's Heart of Darkness? He wrote that work in 1975. He exposed Joseph Conrad's dehumanization of Africans. He rejected the Western canon's racism, declaring that art is man's constant effort to create for himself a different order of reality from that which is given to him. Achebe's genius lay in his ability to merge Igbo oral traditions with novel forms, creating a blueprint for African storytelling. You see, writers like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie call Achebe the writer who made my writing possible. Achebe didn't just write books. He restored our people's stolen history. Tola Adeniyi, the acclaimed journalist, is a lover of Achebe's work. Tola Adeniyi in this interview speaks of the spirit and the need for mental alertness for the African.
This book,
yes,
Things Fall Apart,
yes,
by Chinua
yes,
Achebe. You know, you were not up to 22 when you staged.
I was 19.
You were 19.
Yes.
And you staged Chinua Achebe.
Yes.
What so interested you about this work at the time?
I read Things Fall Apart in secondary school, and I found that there was more theater in the book than just storytelling. I saw theater, I saw drama, I saw dramatic elements, I saw dramatic situations, and I thought this novel is better as a play than even as a novel. Then I went to Segun Olushola, Ambassador Segun Olushola, may God rest his soul, to take me to Achebe to obtain permission, approval to adapt the play, the book into a play. He was living on Broad Street in Lagos. I was working with Radio Nigeria, somewhere like that. So Olushola took me to him upstairs, and he saw me, young boy. He said, "Yes, you think you're up to the task?" And I told him that I've written so many Yoruba plays and all that. And he said, "Okay, go ahead. You'll be the first person to adopt the play, and I wish you luck." I told him I was already considering the same for Sopranequensis, Iska, and I was doing the same thing with Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, and Ngugu's We've No Child. Yes, I was 19.
When you met Chinua Achebe,
yes,
did you fall in love with him?
I don't know whether the word is love. I've always followed him. I mean, when I was reading him as a secondary school boy, I fell in love with his writing. I fell in love with the simplicity of his prose, the unpretentiousness of his message to the world. Because when you read Things Fall Apart, it's not just writing a story; it's addressing humanity. So I saw beyond the story of Okonkwo, Ikemefuna, Berika, and so on, Weye, and so on. I saw a man talking to humanity, juxtaposing the white man's culture, African culture, and all that, and the tragedy of culture shock and culture challenges, and so on and so forth. And the triumph of the African in that novel, even though people will say it is tragedy for Congo, no, there was a triumph, because he established the supremacy of his culture and pointed to the world whoever violated that supremacy, whichever African that tended to insult the supremacy of his culture, may then go the way Okonkwo went. So it was more the celebration of his culture, celebration of Africanness. So when I saw him, I saw that in his eyes. I saw that looking at his head, as if I was penetrating his skull. And then I fell in love with him at that point in time. And I would have been very sad if he had rejected my request.
He didn't reject you?
No, he didn't. He embraced it. He encouraged me.
Have we digested the meaning of this work intensely in this part of the world?
I don't think so. We have not done enough for humanity, for humanities, that is for literature, history, the study of life, psychology and all that. Maybe the Achebe generation, the Awolowo generation, the Pepper Clark generation, even Abiola Irele and so on, or to some extent Oshofiso and Jeyifo. But generally the generations after them are more concerned about just passing exams. And in the case, that was the design of the colonial master. They didn't intend for us to reason. We are prepared for just exams, just garbage in, garbage out, just pass and go and take certificate. The culture of understanding, of studying humanity, of interrogating the concepts of life, we are not exposed to them. And now that everybody is jammed this and that, poverty in the universities and so on, polytechnics and college education, nobody really cares about humanity. So books like Achebe's Things Fall Apart or Ngugu's We've No Child, people really don't give it. They just read the surface, pass the exams, ask them questions about Okonkwo, then they just. I'm talking of people really understanding the depth, like you rightly said, on the depth of any work of art.
So has this affected the way we think as a people?
Oh yes. I mean, very well so. Our children, grandchildren, they really don't. They're not interested.
Have we become more mentally shallow?
Very much so.
And it's penetrating every sphere of society.
Yes, it does. It is.
Even governance.
Unfortunately. Who are the governors? Again, we make them feel important in this country. Who are they? Who is a governor? Who are they? What's their background? How much knowledge do they have?
And you need knowledge to grow a society.
They don't have it. And that is what my friend Dr. Farumbi has always harped upon. The recruitment into leadership in Nigeria, into political leadership, the recruitment is so poor, it's wretched. Somebody will just maybe he worked with Abacha or stole some money in America or in England or whatever, came back with some cash, then, push his way through, and then you make him a governor, you make him whatever, Nothing. You can't say, you say a governor of, say, X state or Y state. You cannot pin that governor to any philosophy he has ever espoused in his life. You cannot quote him on anything because he has never been there.
So deep thinking is no longer part of leadership.
No. And because they don't have it, since they don't have it, they cannot give it.
So for the Achebes,
oh wow,
they wrote for people of the past.
Yes, that's right.
People of the future are not ready to dive deep into these words.
No. Even a man of the people, even the ones that are more relevant to politics and political life, they don't read them.
Achebe did not win a Nobel Prize.
Unfortunately.
Was it unfortunate?
It's unfortunate because I think it was more deserving than many other people who have been given Nobel Prize in the world.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
That's Chief Tola Dini there, acclaimed journalist. You want to read about Tola Dini? There's a book here entitled Abba Sahid, a literary portrait of Tola Adeni by Edi Ayo Ojo. Abba Sahid is the story of the renowned journalist Tola Adeni. Tola Adeni thus speaking of Chinua Achebe. In this work, you see Tola Adeni's poetry, his expression of art. The story of his life is in this book, Abba Sahid, a literary portrait of Tola Adeni. You'll find it on udarabooks.com. Tola Adeni is also the author of the book, In the Belly of Vulture. That is the heaviest book on udarabooks.com. That book weighs about 3.3 kilograms. It is the biggest book in our store. Why Islam seems to be the broader book. It's broad. You must carry it with care. You handle it well. Books are precious. If you don't handle books with care, they become ugly. Even when you don't read them, clean them. Dust your books. Keep them somewhere. Say I will read a page per day. Then in 30 days, you have read 30 pages. Somebody will send me a text. Said, I want to read. I love to read, but I can't read. That whenever he takes a book, he falls asleep. I almost told him, keep sleeping. But I remembered that I need to wake him up. I have taught him how to read. He now reads. Who wants to read? You want to learn to read? But just pick a book, open the books, and read. To read is to be humble. To read is to feed the mind. To read is to be mentally alert. To read is to live long and be impactful. Chinua Achebe is the author of the book Arrow of God. This is Arrow of God. You'll find Arrow of God on udarabooks.com. Things fall apart This is Things Fall Apart. You'll find Things Fall Apart on udarabooks.com. Ant Hills of the Savannah by Chinua Achebe. You'll find Ant Hills of the Savannah on udarabooks.com. What about A Man of the People? Go to udarabooks.com. The Education of a British Protected Child. Collection of Achebe's articles. You'll find them on udarabooks.com. Or you can also chat me on WhatsApp. The books I've recommended to you, you can chat me on WhatsApp. You can order them through my WhatsApp number, 080 999 18449. That is 080 999 18449. That's my WhatsApp number. So you can chat with me to order the book. If you don't like someone's story, write your own. That is Chinua Achebe. Achebe wrote books. He restored a people's stolen history. Achebe, his book, Things Fall Apart. For the first time, African voices narrated their own story in global literature. Things Fall Apart chronicled the tragic downfall of Okonkwo, an Igbo warrior, as British colonialism and Christianity disrupted his world. The novel dismantled racist stereotypes, showing pre-colonial Africa not as a savage void, but as a society with laws, poetry, and flaws. Things fall apart. But the center can stay hold, right? Aha. Just relax. Stay cool. Stay tuned.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
the other people, they left Awori community about 15th century due to the intertribal war that is happening that time, most especially the invasion from the Dahomes. That made them to left Awori land. They now settle on top of this mountain as dictated by Ifa Oracle. When they live here for like 2 centuries. During that time, this whole you are seeing, this is part of the relics of what they used to grind their foodstuff, maybe corn, elubo, yam flour. You see plenty of it as we move upward. As you are moving up, you see plenty of this oil. Up there, you see the gate, what they use as gate, where they put their soldiers to ward off any enemies again, most especially the enemy from Fulani invasion. As we are moving up now, you see the gate there.
Is this part of what you call the footsteps of the ancestors?
No, this is not the footsteps. The footsteps of the ancestors are still up there.
Okay, up there.
Up there. But this one, they use this one for grinding.
Okay.
For grinding their food produce.
Okay.
When they are living on top of this hill. You know, the technology that time was crude.
Yeah.
The modern grading machines are not there again. But what they only do is that when they want to grade their elubo, they pick a hole. They use the small stone to grind it, and then this hole was formed. You see plenty of it up there as we are moving up.
All right.
The other people, they left Awori community about 15th century due to the intertribal war that is happening that time, most especially the invasion from the Dahomes. That made them to left Awori land. They now settle on top of this mountain as dictated by Ifa Oracle. When they live here for like 2 centuries.
Just looking, because the discussion is going on here. They're talking about K1 and the plane. Yeah. That scene. I began to examine the scene in my quiet moment, trying to give it different interpretations. Yes, Nigerians are angry. Why will he stand in front of the plane? Why would the pilot do this? I didn't want to look at it from that angle. So I began to look at it like a movie maker. Okay, I want to make a movie. And I want to create the bad guy in the movie. The bad guy is known round the world. And the bad guy must prove his courage. That is why he's a bad guy. Remember, that is a bad guy does not mean he does not do good. But this is my movie, and I began to see it from that point. And it's epic. Ayinde Marshall tried to stop a moving plane. It's epic. It's courageous. Now, there is a protagonist in my movie. But the pilot is saying, no, you cannot stop a moving plane. You see the speed. And the bad guy said, okay, he that fights and run away lives to fight another day. So he pulled out. So let's watch out for part 2. of the movie. It is epic. Ayinde Marshall tried to stop a moving plane. The pilot says, no, you cannot stop a moving plane. The script is on. But it reminds me of the law of motion. Ayinde Marshall is the action. He stands in front of the plane, wanting to stop the plane. The pilot is the reaction, saying, no, you cannot stop a moving plane. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The reaction is the choice of the pilot. But the most important thing is that Ayinde could not stop a moving plane, and the plane landed somewhere else. The pilot is getting ready for part 2 of the movie. Who wants to stop a moving plane? You can be part of my movie if you can. Let's read from the Bible. I want to read from Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5 verse 1. Seeing the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and when he sat down, his disciples came to him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when men revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Jesus says, rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For so men persecuted the prophets who were before you. I just read from the book of Matthew, chapter 5, from verse 1 to 12. This chapter is a political manifesto. This chapter I just read from the Bible is a radical political manifesto. I have been going through manifestos. I've gone through Peter Obi's manifesto. I've gone through Tinubu's manifesto. Their manifestos did not catch my attention because I was searching for the philosophical framework of their manifestos. You know, you see, we will build road, we will build hospitals, we will deregulate. I was looking for the theoretical framework of their manifesto, the core principle that will ensure that there will be light, road. It must be connected to something. That thing is the driver of progress. They mentioned it, but they didn't philosophize in the document. So, From the Beatitude in the Bible, I have crafted a radical political manifesto for the future. From the words of the Quran, I have crafted a political manifesto for guiding the behavior of society. The behavior of society must be guided, and there must be a philosophy to guide it. It is that philosophy that will now affect education, agriculture. Without it, you will spend billions on education and you will not see the effect. Without that deep philosophy, that content of character that should define a manifesto, the theoretical framework of a manifesto that drives the manifesto, that is key. It must be anchored on the doctrines of humanity. I will come and look at the political manifesto developed from the Beatitude in the Bible. We will do that in this class of politics and power. But I want us to go back into time. In this class, we've examined the works of Alabi Sama, Tragedy of Victory. And now we are looking at the Bible. If you're watching online, there's a Bible I want to show you. It is my new Bible. I could not resist it when I saw it recently. But so can you look at this Bible? Can you see the quality of this Bible? Can you see the side, the golden side? If you open it, the lettering, the print is beautiful. See the paper quality? I thought I wanted to buy one. I said, no, I think you should. If you love the Bible as a book, a very good quality Bible. This is New International Version. I have got some beautiful Bibles for you to read. The Book of Lamentations. Her fall was outstanding. There was none to comfort her. Look, Lord, on my affliction, for the enemy has triumphed. Why are there enemies? And why do they triumph? In a state of love, are we going to have enemies? They lamented in the Book of Lamentations. Beautiful Bible. You see the prints by the side? Okay. I think you should have this Bible. Yes. If you are interested in this quality Bible, New International Version, order it through my WhatsApp number, 080 18449. That is 080 18449. It is the giant print. This Bible is a giant print. It is not on udarabooks.com yet, but we have at least 8 copies. We're able to get 8 copies. Achike Udenwa is a former governor of Imo State. General Abi Sama is the author of Tragedy of Victory. Why Achike Udenwa is the author of the book Nigeria Biafra Civil War, My Experience. So both of them are authors of war books. Let's hear what General Alabi Sama has to say about Achike Udenwa.
So because I had to be able to show you this on the map, because we had surrounded Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is a big place. That was why Udenwa's book was correct about Owerri.
You're talking about this book?
Yes.
By Achike Udenwa?
Yes, the man wrote a good book.
A good book?
He wrote a good book.
You know he also fought in that Atlantic Theatre?
Yes, he fought in Bayelsa, Ahoda, Ikota front, with Marine Commando. He was against Marine Commando. He was fighting against Marine Commando.
He survived it?
Yeah, he survived it. He survived it, again, by the grace of God.
So why do you read books like this?
I read every book that was written on Biafra. Many people lied. Many people lied. Well, you see, there's nothing wrong if you put a lot of adjective in your effort, in your memoir. He put Pascal Odu, Madiebo, Adekunle, no, Adekunle did not, Obasanjo and so on. It's okay. Even Babangida, it's okay to put a lot of adjective in your effort and in yourself. That is your prerogative as a human being. But don't forget that these books are being read by military schools all over the world, even by your own military schools in Nigeria. And they would discover few things that are not correct because you had over-exaggerated. You have used a lot of superlative adjectives to describe few things.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
That is General Alabi Isama, the author of the book, Tragedy of Victory. Any book I mention here, you would find on udarabooks.com. Achike Udenwa is the author of Nigeria-Biafra Civil War, My Experience. I've interviewed him on his experience of the war. You'll find that interview on my YouTube channel. Search for Edmond Obilo on YouTube, and you would find that interview. You also find a beautiful Nubia interview, the part 1 of the beautiful Nubia interview on the channel. Have you read Achike Udenwa's book? Nigeria-Biafra Civil War, My Experience. Classic. So governors can write good books. Achike Udenwa wrote a good book on the Nigerian Civil War. Okay, he tells the story in this interview.
You were posted to Ottawa.
Yes, I was posted to Ahuda, from Ahuda to Abua. Abua was the company battalion headquarters. From Abua, then I went to Ottawa. I was in charge of Ottawa.
Riverine area, yet you could not swim.
Oh, I didn't know how to swim.
At some point, you didn't have fear to power your power boats.
No, we didn't. So we were using the ordinary paddling boat paddle.
And Nigeria had speed boats.
Oh, they were just always crossing. You hear them.
And when they are coming, what happens? You hide?
Yeah, we fired them. We fired them.
With your rifle?
Yes, we fired them.
But they had superior weapons?
Oh, they had very superior weapons.
And you were firing at those with superior weapons?
Yes.
And you could see the way they dealt with you?
Yes.
At some point, they had to cut you guys off?
Oh, yes.
And you became frustrated and stranded?
That was in Ahuda, yes.
You know, that journey, I felt for you. You know, the journey through the forest with Cletus.
Oh, okay.
While I was reading your book, I said, oh God, I hope. At the point, if it was a movie, I would say, I hope he will not die. Because you have written a book, I know he didn't die. But you know, the way you painted the picture, that was grueling.
Yes, that I will tell you, would I say it was my worst experience in the army, throughout my stay in the army. That Ahuda incident was my worst experience.
What happened?
Well, to cut a long story short, when we pulled out, the Nigerians were now in Elela Lemili. If you know the geography of the place, Elela Lemili is just the next place from Ahuda. You know, it's close to Ahuda. Between Elele, the main Elele, you know, and Ahuda, you have Elela Lemili in the middle, very close to even a trekking distance between Elela Lemili and Ahuda. So when they were in Ahuda, they were threatened, and we were in Abua. And not just in central Abua, we were in Otaba, in the, just almost in the creeks. So, well, the brigade had to give instruction that anybody that was in that area should please come out. Because if they took Ahuda, every other person there is cut off. And you won't go, you will have no other place to go. So we had to come out quickly. And then by the time we came out, we had to engage them at Elela Lemili. And once again, because of we were able to hold them on that day we arrived late in the evening. We held them on throughout that night. Got to the following day, we were able to attack them and we were able to move into their camp. But unfortunately, we didn't have enough ammunition to hold on. So they pushed us out. We came out of the camp. We found a good defensive position. And then we sent a recce, that is reconnaissance, to go and find out what they were doing. And they were forming up, ready to come for attack. And we reported to our headquarters, look at what is happening. Can we have enough ammunition and that so that we can attack them before they come out? We were told ammunition was coming, food was coming, this was coming, and none came. So when they were ready, they attacked us. And it was a massive attack. Massive attack.
Many Biafran soldiers were cut down.
We lost a lot of people. So by the time, entering from Elela Lemili into Ahuda, and we coming from Ahuda to Elela Lemili, I was on the left flank. So we kept on fighting until they were able to break through the main axis and got to the bridge. There's a bridge that is inside Ahuda town there. They got to that bridge, blew the bridge. So we, on this side, had no other way to come out. So we were lost there. And we stayed in the bush, no compass. You didn't have a compass. You didn't have communication to link up with your colleagues the other side. So we are just lost on our own and scattered in the bush there. So we stayed for 4 days, me and that lettuce. We were together for 4 days.
In the bush?
In the bush, until we were able to come out by the help of a woman who came into the farm, because we were in the vast farm.
We were eating raw corn.
Raw corn. That was the only food that was available to us. Because that time, remember, it was around July, August. I think that rainy season period. Only corn was available in the bush.
You were drenched. The rain could beat you, and the sun would dry you.
Yes.
I could see your pictures while I was reading.
That's the worst period I spent in the army. Throughout the war, that was my worst period.
And you survived.
And we managed to come out.
By this time, your mom got the news that you were dead.
Yes. But then, I would say it was destiny that God just brought us out. It was a long journey.
Perhaps that lady was an angel.
An angel. In fact, by the time we even came out to the village, the last village there, Demisami, they said we can't cross the water. That the Nigerian soldiers were coming back, that they came that day, and they were coming. They had gone back to Ahuda and will be coming back the following morning. That we can't cross. That if we cross, that the Nigerian soldiers will kill them. So it was just a boy, somebody of our age who volunteered and got some boatmen and they smuggled us out at night.
While this lasted, you didn't drop your rifle.
Yeah, they insisted that they cannot ferry us across with rifle. We told them that if we arrive in Biafra without our rifles, we'll be killed. Yeah, we'll be court-martialed. So we arrived at a compromise. We emptied our magazine. So we carried one ammunition.
An empty rifle is useless, right?
Yes, please. I never had a more horrible time in the war than that period.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
I've read a lot about the war. As we talk about the war, you can still see some young persons in Igbo land still want Biafra. Some of them have picked up arms against the state. So there is insurrection in Igbo land as we speak. How do you feel about this? Especially from the area where you come from.
Yeah, you see, most times we, the elders, keep advising that war is no good. Let's not go back to war again. If you have not seen the war, you have not seen the devastation, you have not seen the economic destruction, oh no, you will not know that war is never good. We should not try it again. We should try more negotiated means that will not involve fighting. And that is why some of us have been advocates. Till tomorrow, I'll continue to be an advocate of true federalism. Because to me, that is something that can ensure some stability and ensure some access to government at the lower level. You have more powers at the lower level. Like, take for instance, police. What is police? Why would you have just a federal police? In developed countries, you have the local, you have the federal police, you have the regional police, you have the state police, you have the local government police. You have police at all levels. But in our own is one command. As a governor, I knew it. I suffered it.
You suffered it?
Yes. You could not give instruction easily to your commissioner of police. If you give instruction to your commissioner of police, he will clear with his IG. But you are the chief security officer of the state. You know what is happening. But the commissioner of police can never take your instruction on such issues, sensitive issues, without referring to his IGP.
Was it frustrating for you?
Very frustrating. Yeah, it was. His IG can tell him no. And he won't do it.
Did you report to Obasanjo at any time?
No. Obasanjo cannot do anything about it.
The IG is responsible to him?
Yes. He can only call the IG and ask him what happened. IG will explain.
So in that case, the IG could be more powerful than the governor?
Yes. That the governor, as far as security is concerned at the state level, the IG is more powerful. Because the commissioner of police reports to IG. And if he doesn't obey the IG will throw him out from the estate and post in somebody else.
So the commissioner can disobey the governor?
Yes. Why not? The commissioner can disobey the governor as long as he has the approval of his IG.
And you were called the chief security officer?
And you are the chief security officer. So I'm just giving this as an example. So that's why we are advocating and I will still be, a student of and supporter of true federalism.
But these young persons in Igbo land today are not talking about federalism.
No.
They want Biafra.
Yes, they want Biafra, but it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
They are occupying communities.
I agree.
If you go to places like Olu or
my own community is also part of it. So this is the problem we're having.
Are the elders in Igbo land speaking loud enough?
Yes, you are.
Is anybody listening?
Well, who will listen?
How come they don't listen to their elders? There must be something wrong. Is it that the elders have failed in the past?
Well, you see, it always happens. During, like the war period, people like Zik didn't want declaration of Biafra. Did we listen? So it is like that. It's not new. Such things are not new. The elder can see something you as a small boy you cannot see. But you act on the spur of the moment. We want this. We want to do that. So to them, there is some euphoria. We want to get Biafra. It's a euphoria. So if you advise it, they will not listen to you, but we are still pleading. We have always been pleading. Please, let there be peace. Let's not militarize the Southeast.
But it's already militarized.
Yeah, it's already militarized.
You have soldiers at different checkpoints.
Oh yes.
You have Ibubago with different kinds of guns.
So that has not helped the security situation.
So it's a volatile region.
Very volatile. Oh yes, it's volatile. These are some of the problems. But we think that true federalism can solve some of these. When people see government nearer them, a lot of things will change. And secondly, it will make for national cohesion. Because why are we fighting for election? Why are we cleaning ourselves for election? The control of the federal resources. Because federal government controls everything. And we are all fighting to get there. That's the cause of the problem we're having in Nigeria. But if you decentralize, there will not be too much attraction at the center. The attraction at the center will be less. So it will not be a do or die affair to get to the center. You have a more stable polity.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
That's the voice of Achike Udenwa, a former governor of Imo State. He was governor of Imo State from 1999 to 2007 under the platform of the People's Democratic Party. Achike Udenwa is the author of the book Nigeria Biafra Civil War, My Experience. The book, as an eyewitness and a participant's account of the war, is meant to fill the gap between what has been written already about the war by different authors and the actual situation in the field of war. Achike Udenwa's book further highlights the role played by the lower command, the platoons, companies, battalions, and brigades in the various war fronts. One area of my research is the Nigerian Civil War. So if you go on my YouTube channel, you see there are a lot of stories on the war. It's my area of research. It's one of the areas I'm researching on. I am going to speak to as many persons that participated in the war. There are lessons to learn from that war. If you want to order Achike Udenwa's book, you will find it on udarabooks.com. Remember, in that interview, he said his own community is occupied, meaning that Achike Udenwa cannot go home. A former governor cannot go home. Okay. And if we are not careful, more communities will be occupied. And before you know it, we all stand before the moving plane. And before you know it, the planes will run over some of us. Who wants to stand in front of a moving plane? Let me read from this book. I'm not reading from Achike Odenwa's book now. This is the biggest book on the wall. This is the biggest book on the wall. Yes, that I have. I don't know if anybody has written anything bigger. Alabi Sama's book is big, but it's not up to 760 pages. And this is a detailed account. This is not somebody telling a story that, oh, I fought in the war. No. This is a researcher who sat down and went to look for the stories of the war as published by different news media, speeches. So you find the New York Times report. That is why the book is entitled The Untold Story of the Nigeria-Biafra War. The Untold Story of the Nigeria-Biafra War. A chronological reconstruction of the events and circumstances of the Nigerian Civil War. It's a book written by Dr. Luke Naimeka Aneke. The foreword is written by former Biafran leader, General Philip Effiong, retired. When Ojukwu left for Ivory Coast, the leadership of Biafra fell on General Philip Effiong. He wrote the foreword of this book. On chapter 15 of this book, entitled Biafra Acquires Recognition. Now, this is how the author writes. April 13th, 1968. He will tell you what happened on that day with regard to the Nigeria-Biafra War. So on April 13th, 1968, the headline here is Tanzania today becomes the first country to recognize the Republic of Biafra as a state. So that's one lesson you should take away from this class. The first country in the world to recognize Biafra as a state is Tanzania. And that was when Julius Nyerere was the leader of Tanzania, Walimu. So Tanzania is the first country to recognize Biafra. It says here, a long communique issued by the government of Tanzania described the secession as a tragedy for African unity. However, it said that unity could not be achieved by conquest and that the people of Biafra had decided that their only way of survival was to secede. And he quoted the New York Times. That is why the book is a chronological reconstruction of the events and circumstances of the war. It's like the diary of the war. Sunday, April 15th, 1968. Ojukwu takes 1 week retreat. It reads, Radio Biafra announced today that Odumegwu Ojukwu, head of the former Eastern region, had gone into a week-long Lenten retreat and had given temporary command to his chief of staff, Philip Effiong. The Biafran radio treated the temporary transfer as routine news, but the switch baffled observers. You see, the Biafran broadcasting system, I don't know why I have not seen anybody that have written a book. I think that is one area we should look at. A book that focused on Biafran propaganda. Yes, I've seen it. It has been mentioned in different books because it was quite intense. At some point, Nigeria felt Biafra had all the weapons in the world because of propaganda. You know, that is why a book written by Anthony Amadi is key. He said the other side of Biafra. But I have done some analysis. You know, if you buy book through the website, you put your name there. I've done some analysis looking at those who are buying the books on Biafra, especially between the Igbo and Yoruba. Because after the interview, people come and they are commenting. You see the way they are commenting fiercely. And when as they are commenting, you are seeing gaps, loopholes in their comment. It is clear they like the subject, but they are not reading on the subject. So when I did that analysis of Yoruba and Igbo, who are those buying the books on Biafra more? The Yorubas are buying it more. And the Igbos are more aggressive in the argument. And I'm saying, okay, what's going on? It doesn't mean it might be Igbos are buying from somewhere else. But I'm saying, I said, okay, why are you doing this comparative analysis? I said, there's an ongoing argument between the Yoruba and the Igbo, which is a very interesting argument. Even when I see people are throwing tantrums and insult at themselves, I'm sieving something from the argument, trying to understand what they are saying and see how we can penetrate their mind so that they can recognize the inherent potential that these ethnic groups have if they decided to cooperate. And when it comes to Awolowo, some Igbos will speak, no, Awo did this to us. Awo did that to us. And some of these are stories that have been told from age to age. And that is why I'm saying any book that has been written on Biafra, I will find it and put it on the store. The Nigerian Civil War is the biggest event in the history of the Nigerian state. At some point, they removed history from the syllabus to hide the stories. The materials on the war are yet to be declassified. If we get there, we will declassify them. We will study what happened, and so that it will not happen again. Because if we don't, it will happen again. And this time, it will fly in different regions. Are you measuring the spread of war in Africa? Another side of my research is war. I'm researching on war. I've looked at the wars that were fought in Africa and the wars that will be fought in Africa. If we don't intervene mentally, more wars will come. So you need to study them. I recommend this book to you, The Untold Story of the Nigeria-Biafra War, a chronological reconstruction of the events and circumstances of the Nigerian Civil War, a book written by Dr. Luke Nemeka Aneke. You'll find it on udarabooks.com. You can also get it through my WhatsApp number. You can order through my WhatsApp number, 080 18449. 080 Yeah. After this break, I'm going to look at your messages, open the phone line. So let's talk. Let's talk. Okay? So get ready. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
The other people, they left Awori community about 15th century due to the intertribal war that is happening that time, most especially the invasion from the Dahomes. That made them to left Awori land. They now settle on top of this mountain as dictated by Ifa Oracle. When they live here for like 2 centuries. During that time, this whole you are seeing, this is part of the relics of what they used to grind their foodstuff, maybe corn, elubo, yam flour. You see plenty of it as we move upward. As you are moving up, you see plenty of this oil. Up there, you see the gate, what they use as gate, where they put their soldiers to ward off any enemies again, most especially the enemy from Fulani invasion. As we are moving up now, we see the gate there.
Is this part of what you call the footsteps of the ancestors?
No, this is not the footsteps. The footsteps of the ancestors are still up there.
Okay, up there.
Up there. But this one, they use this one for grinding.
Okay.
For grinding their food produce.
Okay.
When they are living on top of this hill. You know, the technology that time was crude.
Yeah.
The modern grinding machines are not there again. But what they do only do is that when they want to grind their elubo, they pick a hole. They use the small stone to grind it, and then this hole was formed. You see plenty of it up there as we are moving up.
All right. That's why we're here. So this is the foot of the rock. We are relaxed. So we are saving energy because the work up the rocks will take more than an hour. So you need to be strong. You know, exercise yourself, getting ready, and up we'll go soon. So welcome to Okeado Hills, Okeado Mountain, Okeado Rocks. We are going to have a dialogue with Iyake Lake. Come with us. Up we go. The journey begins now. Yes, our tour guide is ahead of me. You can see him from Oyo State Ministry of Culture and Tourism. He's taking us up. This is the first gate, the gate into the rocks. You know, we have different rocks here, and Iyake Lake is at the top of one of the rocks. Let's go.
The place has over 200 steps. It has over 200 steps.
300 steps?
Yes. And in fact, we have about 16 sites there. 16 sites, it's a 30 site. Iyake is the most prominent one. Iyake Suspended Lake is the most prominent one among them. On our way now, we first of all reach Isagi Hill. After Isagi Hill, we see Odoyalaro, we see Esiamu Agba, we see Iyake Suspended Rock. If we move up, we see Esekaniku, that's a very sharp edge of the rock. We see Obebanji Jira, we see Majekankan, we see Agbonafo Iyake. That one is very close to Iyake Lake. It is believed that if somebody puts his leg inside, the person will meet himself inside the Iyake. So that is forbidden. People are forbidden from putting their leg there. So we have 60-30 sites. And in fact, those 60-30 sites during the olden days, those 60-30 sites were shrines worshipped by the indigenous that time. Before it's now been turned into 30 sites. Wow. And up till now, people who have belief, they still request for whatever they want from each of those shrines. So we have
300 steps to go.
Yes.
Oh. Guys, we just started.
This is Agi Rock, one of the 16 tourist sites on top of Ado Mountain. This rock is known for fertility and productivity. Mostly, it gives children for those who believe in it. Those who want children, they come from all nooks and crannies to come and worship it, to come and make their request, most especially for children. And children that are born under the influence of this rock, they bring the children when the Yake festival is being celebrated in November to appreciate him. And this thing is worshipped. Part of what they used to worship it, echo, no echo. The corn meal, the solid corn meal, egusi, that is the local melon, cock, akuko, all those things. Then white cloth are tied around it. Now, when you want new clothes, when it's no longer in need of the old clothes, maybe you feel that the old clothes is dirty or you are torn, you will remove it by itself. And maybe that is what he has just done. He's now requesting for new clothes. So I believe new clothes will soon be brought to it, to wrap it.
So you wrap the new clothes
around it.
And white. It must be white.
It must be white. It must be white.
So why this line?
This is like a spear of
mọ́tò yìí gbẹ bóyá o òjò tó rọ̀ lánàá yẹn o bóyá o gbogbo lè lomi rọ sí bóyá o gbogbo aṣọ ló tutù bóyá o baálé ilé ti sùn lọ́fọ̀ọ́fọ́ o gbogbo ọmọdé lomi ti kó lọ bóyá o ẹ wá bá nǹkan yìí gbẹ o bóyá o mo ní ẹ bá nǹkan yìí gbẹ o bóyá o let us go now. What joy to see the children when they are playing. What
what joy to see the children running around the place. Oh, once again to be like a child. Oh, once again to be like a child. Bẹ́ẹ̀ délé lónìí ẹ mọ́ gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ tá a wí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bọ́mọdé sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ fìfẹ́ bá wọn wí o. Ẹni tó wà ní kọ̀rọ̀ dákun jáde wá o. Kò mọ̀ sóhun tó dàbí ìfẹ́ aláṣepọ̀. Àní bẹ́ẹ̀ délé lónìí ẹ mọ́ gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ tá a wí o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bọ́mọdé sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ fìfẹ́ bá wọn wí o. Ẹni tó ń bẹ ní kọ̀rọ̀ dákun jáde wá o. Kò mọ̀ sóhun tó dàbí ìfẹ́ aláṣepọ̀ o. Ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, àní ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ò fi sí o. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi jàlájòló. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ò fi sí o. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi jàlájòló. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ò fi sí o. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi jàlájòló. Àní ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ò fi sí o. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi jàlájòló. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀ àṣoríire ayọ̀. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀ yìí o. Àṣoríire ayọ̀. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀ ni o. Àṣoríire ayọ̀. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀. Àṣoríire ayọ̀. Ẹni tó bímọ tuntun ayọ̀ ni o. Àṣoríire ayọ̀. Ẹni tó ra mọ́tò yìí o ayọ̀ ni o. Àṣoríire ayọ̀. Ẹni tó kọ́lé yìí o ayọ̀ ni o. Àṣoríire ayọ̀. Ẹni tó ń ṣègbéyàwó ayọ̀ ni o. Àní ẹni tó ń sọjọ́ bí o ayọ̀ ni o. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀. Àṣoríire ayọ̀. Ẹ bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ. Jàǹgbàlà jùkú ìjùkú ìjùkú jàǹgbàlà. Ẹ wá bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ o.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmond Obilo, on State Affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
Splash FM 105.5.
Hard work, honesty of purpose. Don't fake it. Patience, tenacity. Nothing good ever comes easy. Writing is not easy. No. And people say when you write, if you write long enough, it will be easier for you. No. Every piece you have to write has its own challenges. But longevity does have its own purpose because you get used to the difficulties. Not that you have a golden bullet poem that will solve all the problem. After writing it, now you begin to write prize winners and so on. No. Then solitude. This is something our country, Nigeria, denies us. Noise everywhere. Noise. Where I live is supposed to be GRA, whatever, or your state, whatever. At 4 o'clock in the morning, and you write it, before you know it, there is hallelujah, hallelujah. Come. God must be angry with us because we are disturbing him. Solitude is very, very important. This is why you find poets in all kinds of unusual places. Because you are able to sink into yourself and you are able to write. And I would say writing and reading are like two sides of the same coin. Read, read, read. Anything decent, anything well written. Our newspapers, bad as Nigeria is, still has some good columnists. Make friends with them. Read, read poetry, read prose, read the essay. It's not a strange question. My American students, how do I get ideas? And I say there is no market where you can buy them. Or America, you are very rich. You can't get it. It doesn't respond to dollars. It's the music of your mind, and the labor you have to. So make sure that you find time every day to take stock. I do it every morning, and I do it the last thing. Have a piece of paper everywhere you are. There are some ideas that come to you that will never come again. I don't know how it happens. You listen to the radio. Oh, is Radio Man still here? When I listen to Edmond Obilo, I have a piece of paper by my side. You see, occasionally I call him and I deliberately repeat those expressions. They influence the way I write, right? So your mind has to be open. Your house cannot be neat. There must be books, or your office, all around. Let people call you mad for a while. Yeah, positive kind of madness. Dare to be different. Dare to be different. If all you do is what other people have been doing, you will not make a mark. It is important to be different. Poetry, that's the one I practice quite a lot, I know, seizes our attention when it sounds different. If I come here and ladies and gentlemen, I have just come back from a journey and I saw the people were crying. Oh, was it a bereavement? But if I get here, I've just come back from a journey and the stones were weeping. You say, oh, stones? How can they weep? It's that strangeness about it. A good poem starts by being nonsensical. Yeah. It takes patience. Yeah. It takes patience it takes patience to distill sense from it. At that point, you are on a plateau that is very close to the mind that created the work. So it's important.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
Yes, that is the eminent thinker, Professor Nee, or Shudari there. Can God be angry with his children? Is there anything like positive madness? I'm just thinking. Ni or Shudari. Have you read the poems of Ni or Shudari? Snap songs. Okay, the lines are open. Let's talk. Send your messages on X. Are you on X? Let's go on X. Let's see who's there. Oladele Do Joseph, where are you? Oladele Ido Joseph. Deji Yesufu, how are you this morning? Deji. Pastor Deji Yesufu, I greet you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Mr. Edmond. Yes, how are you there?
Ademumma.
Okay. It's the High Chief Ken talking.
The ball is in your court.
Okay. You see, the books where we are going to when you call is it Adora or something bookshop? Is it in Ibadan here?
Udarabooks.com. It's an online store. It's an online store.
Where?
It's an online store.
Okay. Okay, online store. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to get that right.
Yes.
Then, in terms of when we are talking of a man that is there, former governor of Imo State, have analyzed what happened during the war. That they asked Zik, does he want Biafra to go? He said no. Am I right?
Yeah, he said that.
Is the man that wants one Nigeria. For the first, let me just start from this end. He said, is the man that brought independence for this country. Is the one that said Lagos must be situated in Lagos as a capital. They have the right to change it. But say Lagos must remain. And is the man who see the nice people say, he doesn't want, Nigeria must stand as one nation. You can see those three things. That's why the white people look at him. When he died, they say they want his corpse to come to London. They say, no, we can't bring the corpse to London. They say, this man that used their sense in so many ways. This is an ordinary person. So now today, most of the time we are celebrating our. He did for his own people. But this man is a nationalist who did all effort to make Nigeria to stand as one. Today, some people hate him, some love him. But they always leave him, especially people from the Western region. They don't even talk of that man that made this Nigeria to be one. They always talk of the regionalists, which happen to be our. And Obasanjo, likewise Obasanjo, did not share that cake that belonged to some region. That cake is our national cake, which is the resources. They say it's not shared well. It's not a good leader. How can you be taking on that person Commonwealth to say the man did well, Obasanjo did very well. And they condemn him and say, oh, it's not a good because not bring it to the West. Even under Buhari, they did well. All of them are in that government more than any other region. But they still say Buhari not do well for them. What do they want? I asked him. Have you ever went to grave of Zik, asked him that, why did you don't want Biafra to go? And what is their reason? As one Nigeria, you stand. So I'm saying this, and I wonder what came at the end of the day. Obasanjo deprived him being a president because it's not work of man, it's a work of God.
Thank you.
Let us be reality in whatever we do.
Thank you.
In this country.
Thank you.
Now, Akiyele, Mrs. Akiyele, who happened to NAFDAC chairman, woman, he did all his best. He pursues people to the end that what they are doing is wrong. The woman that is a woman affairs minister, who happened to be for women from the same region, I condemned alien marriage. I condemned alien marriage of 12 years mass marriage. He said no, you cannot be in that position to witness that.
Thank you.
And at the end of the day, they remove him and put the president for. Are we not one idea?
Thank
but
you.
Please, for now.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. The lines are open. Let's hear from you. Okay? Yeah, I won't give you more than 3 minutes again. Hello, good morning. Call the radio station. The last caller has made his point. He's a Zik man. And he's pushing the cause of Nnamdi Azikiwe. Yeah, he's also raising his own sentiments. He's entitled to his opinion, is he not? So you say your mind. Let's hear from you. 07069493000 and 070-144-75770. Good morning.
Good morning, Edmond Obilo.
I greet you.
My name is Olatunde Sarafadin from Akinyele. Obilo. Why Biafra come up? And then why the remaining Igbo people are still in seat of Biafra? This is a question to you, my dear brother. Good morning to you. Have a nice weekend.
Okay. Questions for me. They want Biafra. That is why they are coming up with Biafra. Okay? That is why they are calling for it. They feel they have been marginalized.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello? Yeah, good morning. This is Lawrence from Beatitude.
Good to hear your voice.
During your interview, during your interview with Chief Tola Adeniji, he said that most of our present leaders are not deep thinkers. They don't read. So I think what we need in this country is mental evolution. We need to understand the past so that we can know how to handle the present and explore the future. So we need deep thinkers and revolutionaries. So if not, we just be rounding a circle. We need to sit down in this country to see which way to go. How can you be running a highly centralized system, vestiges of the West African Frontier Front? How can somebody in Abuja be determining my life in Ibadan North? I think we are just deceiving ourselves. Nigeria is just being run on grand pretense. That's my submission.
Nigeria is being run on what? Hello? Okay, I wanted to get a word. Ground word? Suicide? Okay. Let's hear from you. Call the radio station. Let's go online and see who is saying what. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Edmond.
Your name?
Baba is back on. Yeah, like Bolaniwa.
Baba is back again.
Look, let us reach a point. The Igbos that are looking for Biafra, they feel marginalized. I agree. And if you remember, the first election that brought Obasanjo back into power, was between Obasanjo and the Falaye. And it was deliberate and to assuage the feelings of the Yorubas when they felt marginalized. I think the same political engineering would have brought two Igbos to put faith to Biafran issue. The moment an Igbo man is sworn in as president of this country, that will be the end of Biafra. That is why I'm not happy that Ojukwu is not alive today. That is why I'm not happy that the vice president of Shangari,
Alex Ekweme.
I'm trying to forget his name now.
Alex Ekweme.
Who?
Alex Ekweme.
Ekweme, thank you. God bless you. I'm not happy that man is not alive today. Those are the real statesmen that have represented. But we have women that I believe are up to the task today. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is a woman that can rescue Nigeria and serve Nigeria and put pay to Igbo struggling for Biafra. Thank you, Edmond. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Yinka Dewale Kudus. I can see you on Splash FM page on Facebook. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Edmond.
Hello.
Hello, Edmond.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. My name is John. I'm a keen follower of your broadcast and program. But you said earlier today that there's insurrection in Igbo land. I laugh because I'm glad that even Yorubas among us have said that Nnamdi Azikiwe did not support Biafra, and another person just called out to confirm that if the Igbos, like, we have an arrangement, is it turn by turn? Somebody will now said, Yoruba will come or will come. And my point is this: something happened. Somebody was supposed to be, is it the controller of, is it custom or prison or immigration or what? We used another way to change it because who was the next in line? An Igbo person. So see, my point is this: as long as marginalization of a particular ethnic group is not sorted out, things might not just improve. I don't want to say things will get worse. Now, something happened over the weekend. During the week. Somebody went in front of a tarmac to stop a jet from taking off. Today, no arrest has been made or effected. Now, the question is, let me tell you what goes on in Nigeria. It depends on the party you support. So it depends on the crimes you commit. It depends on probably what ethnic stuff you belong. So it now determines on what you go away with. So please, I believe in one Nigeria. I'm Igbo for the record. And if we keep looking at some people as a problem, you remember that guilt clause in that this First World War, Second World War, that they said Germany were responsible for. Yes, it was First World War that made Hitler to come back. That was like the Second World War. That guilt clause. You see, it's not a time to blame people. It's time to look at what do we do. If you get check all the appointments Mr. President has made. Almost how many of them? I saw a list of them. He has not covered himself in glory. See, Biafra can end today if the president so wants to. It's a very simple thing. It can end. Nobody will be mentioning Nnamdi Kanu. You are making a hero out of. Do the needful. Go to the Igbo land. Talk to them. What do you want? Okay, how do we do? How about do this? Let there be political inclusivity. It's not there. You heard what the Baba now said. And when he said it, I felt so good. I felt so fulfilled as an Igbo boy. But then all these things keep happening, and in the end, it doesn't matter. It's just like just a group of people who, whether they are not relevant in national discourse, and you want things to work. Well, all the best from me. Thanks for the good job.
Thank you. You see, when this Igbo question arises, give the Igbo man power and everything will be fine. I smile. That's not true. Okay, let me not say that's not true. I don't believe that if you give the Igbo man power, that everything will be fine. There are more fundamental issues beyond power. But a people that is more than 40 million should stop playing the victim. The Igbo nation should stop playing the victim. The Igbo nation is too powerful to play a victim. Perhaps the Igbo nation don't know how powerful they are. I have made that point again in private meetings, in public meetings. If the Igbo nation wants political power, they should go for it. Grab it and run with it. Don't come and talk about this sympathy. The Igbo nation is too endowed. The people of Igbo land are too beautiful to beg for power. Use what you've got to get power. Stop playing the victim, Igbo nation. You have fought a war. You have fought a war. No tribe in Nigeria has that experience. The lessons of the war can make the Igbo a powerful nation. And that experience can rub off on the Yoruba nation, on Africa. Go and read the Ahira Declaration, the revolutionary document of the war. Every Igbo sons and daughter should have a copy of the Ahira Declaration. That copy tells you about the power of the Igbo nation. The Yoruba nation is not a problem of the Igbo nation. The Fulani is not a problem of the Igbo nation. The Igbo nation must look inward first. When a people constantly come out and blame others, there's something wrong with them. study the history, pre-independence, the Igbos dominated pre-independence. And as I say speak, the Igbo nation cannot be marginalized. A nation with such economic power cannot be marginalized. The Fulani nation does not have the economic power of the Igbo nation. What the Igbo nation need to do is to convert its economic power, use it to get political power. Stop complaining. After you fought a war for 3 years, you know what that means? You stood your ground and you are forming a victim, whipping all the time. What's that? If you want power, go for it. Grab it. Run with it. Show your strength in the Igbo nation. The Yoruba nation is not your problem, or the Fulani. The problem of the Igbo nation is the Igbo. Once you look inward, you find your way. And to grab that power is to grab it for progress, if you can. Grab it from Tinubu 2027 if you can. Stop crying. I don't like that. Fight for it. Run with it. Grab it. Don't fire some guns. What is it? Go for it if you can. Who's the next caller, Bosun? Good morning.
Good morning, Edmond. Olatunde again from Akiyele. Please, Edmond, it is not they are going to grab it. They are going to sacrifice. Yoruba nation sacrifice. We sacrifice Abiola before we can grab it. Well, let's say you can't tell Obasanjo said anywhere that you go under the world. When they pull the red carpet, remember that you are matching the blood of MKO Abiola. Isn't it? Obilo. Answer me. My name is Olatunde Sarafadin from Akele.
I am answering. I'm answering you.
Are you listening to me?
I am. Go on. Make your point.
And then I quote Wole Soyinka said that he told, and then he tell Abiola, say, anywhere you go under this world, when they put the red carpet for you, you mind the blood of Abiola. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is he ready to sacrifice?
They are shooting guns already. They are shooting guns.
Are they ready to sacrifice? We sacrifice. We Yoruba nation, we sacrifice. When the Igbo nation to sacrifice, they go to the Abuja to be the president of this country. Edmond, let them sacrifice. It is not matter of holding gun.
All right. Interesting. You know, this kind of discussions can be emotional. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Ademola is my name. On the issue of these Igbos, they have problems. This country, they don't have a friend. Both the north, the southwest, the southeast, they don't have friends. And if you don't make friends, there's no way you can get to the center. Do you follow what is going on in Ghana now? It is because of the Igbos. They want to drive Nigerians away from Ghana. Same thing. I witnessed it when Zeke, as an Easterner, wanted to be a premier in Ibadan here. And because he didn't have that chance, he has had Awolowo in mind that he's going to make sure he falls. And he did it. In 1959, when they were about to form a government, Awolowo volunteered to be a minister, that he should be the prime minister. He went behind and formed a government with Sardauna. But when he wanted to be exercising the executive power, those ones told him, "You are ceremonial president." That was led to the coup, the Igbo coup of 1966. What concerns Awolowo with all those? Awolowo was really lucky to be in Calabar jail. Otherwise, they would have killed him. They killed the heroes of the northern people.
Who would have killed him?
They kill our own heroes here, who are their friends. So please talk to them. Go and see what is happening in Ghana today.
All right.
That's why they want to drive away Nigerians away from Ghana.
It's okay.
This is a territorial.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't want us to, those telling Igbo people to leave Ghana, they are cowards. They're cowards. This primordial sentiment. If one Igbo man has annoyed you, let the Lord deal with him. Which one are you saying the population should leave? Ghana has done this before. Ghana has done this before. You see, the Igbo man is a hustler. And the hustler that likes showing himself is a hustler that shows himself. There are some hustlers who operate from behind. But many Igbo men will hustle and they will show themselves. Once they make the money, they want you to know they have the money. And they use money for action. Is that against the law? It is not about the Igbo. It's the mindset of the African. You wake up in the morning. Argument. Lagos belongs to Yoruba. No. Igbos cannot stay here. Fulanis must go. Before you know it, Ijebu will say go. It did not happen in politics in Yoruba land. I know people here who wants to run for House of Assembly. They'll say they can't give you ticket. You are from Oshun. You should go to Oshun. And you think it will stop from Igbo Yoruba? It will move from Yoruba. You are Ijebu. Go to Ijebu. What are you doing here? Is it not happening? Omo Ijebu, go. This is Ibadan. Omo Ijesha. See, it is about our humanity. The Yoruba nation, great people. Look at Yoruba land. Sprawling green land. Intelligent people. The Yoruba nation, one of the most advanced civilizations in the world. The Igbo nation, the Fulani nation, the Ijaw nation, great people. And you want to tell Igbo people to leave Ghana, they should stay put. Go to where? Africa is homeland. If you are in Kenya, if I have the opportunity, I'll tell you, come to Nigeria. Africa is homeland. Go to where? All right. I'll be back next week. Okay? Calm down. Everything will be fine. We'll build a great country, a great Africa. The Igbo will be happy. The African will be happy. We'll restructure the social systems. I am Edmondo Bilo. The next program is Ijoba Tiwa Wishing Special. It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Edmondo Bilo.